Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video for Tag J Starcraft II, our new YouTube channel for the Astringent Gaming Journal. I'm Origin of Bob, or Luke Tatum as they call me in quote-unquote the real world. So let's get started. Today we're going to have a demo of the Terran race in the Starcraft II beta. So let's get right to it. Okay, so here we are. This is my lovely Terran base. I'm not a Terran player. This is actually my least favorite of the three races, so I figured I'd knock them out first. Here's just a quick look around. The map is called Blistering Sands. It's been used in a battle report that Blizzard released officially before. Just kind of a tour around it, looking at the various things. But first thing you'll notice is that, hey, it's 3D, it's marvelous. Now, supply depots. Yeah, they can go underground now. Isn't that wonderful? Move these guys right across and you just pop them back on to ground levels. So it doesn't matter, you don't lose supply or anything when you put them under the ground. They're harder to kill, but of course they don't block your enemies. Here come all my SCVs. I'm going to set these guys up, give them some resources, just to kind of show you the madness that is having, what, 30 or so SCVs on a single mineral batch. Now, command centers. Command centers come in three varieties now. You've got the command center, the orbital command, as you see there, and then the planetary fortress. The command center upgrades to one of the two others. The orbital command I think is the more useful, but I haven't really played any matches as Terran. Absolutely zero against humans, actually. So, well, what can I say? It's got three abilities if you go orbital command, though, which is why I say it's more useful. It's got energy, max out at 200, and, well, let's kind of take a look at these different abilities here. You've got the mule, the extra supplies for a supply depot, and then you have a scanner suite. Now, mules are what I'm calling down right now, and mules are 90 seconds of pure harvesting glory, I guess I would say. They harvest 3 times faster than SCV, if I'm correct on that, and while they're only temporary, you can get a significant boost to your economy, because if you have full energy with your command centers, then you can call down 4 for each command center, and I mean that's significant. Here's scanner sweep rather, and just like always, reveals invisible units, detects them, and kind of reveals an area of the map. Here's some supply depots I built, and you can add 8 supply permanently to a supply depot with this last ability. I think this is probably the least useful of the abilities because, well, you can just build another supply depot. But I mean, it does save you the money. It's kind of hard to say, not being a Terran player, whether or not you would want to use this one very much. But in a pinch, you can certainly open up your population. Now, here's the other version, the planetary fortress. It does 40 damage. 40 to everything that comes anywhere near it. Pretty significantly strong structure. I mean, you know, it's got a ton of health because it's a command center. But, I don't know. Anyway, here's refineries. And refineries, of course, now will flash red and actually look like they're out of stuff to harvest whenever they're depleted. Here's a missile turret. Just kind of get a nice look there of some of the architecture that the Terran have to offer this time around. Now, as always, you can lift off your buildings, many of them, and they have these nice thrusters on them, so it actually makes sense. They're not just a floating hulk of steel anymore. So I'm a big fan of the thrusters, having a good time with those. Got my various production facilities around here, and something that's really important to notice is every structure has, or every production structure, except for the command center, has 2 add-ons. The Tech Lab, which will allow you to get all of the unit types for that structure, in this case 4, and then the Reactor, which will allow you to build the first unit in that structure's production twice as fast. You actually get 2 production queues for Marines if you have a barracks, or Hellions if you have a factory, for example. Very, very cool if you need a lot of Marines really fast. Of course, the tech lab is the more useful because you get upgrades for your units, such as the riot shields for your Marines, and all kinds of useful things that you just can't get if you have a reactor. But you can get a ton of Marines, just like this group here. And of course, they have riot shields. I've gotten all the upgrades except for some of the attacks and defenses. Pretty cool. Gotta love Marines. So they're gonna run over here and fire at this command center for a second, just kind of show off their attack animation. Kill a few of my own guys here, just show off some deaths. There are actually quite a few death animations now for most units, such as if they get burned. The medivac here is your new dropship, and it also heals infantry units. It's the medic and the dropship put together. Siege tanks, of course, always wonderful. Put them in siege mode, and goodness gracious, are they ever beasts. Just look at that. Annihilating those troops. So there's the siege tank. Now the Raven, that's your spellcaster. It's kind of a replacement for the science vessel. You can drop auto turrets here. It's a spellcaster, as I said. So one of its spells is that. Here's a point defense drone, which shoots incoming missiles. I haven't actually seen this one used, so I'm not entirely sure exactly what's going on with it. But it does use 10 energy per shot, which is something that's very interesting. I'd really like to understand better what's going on with that. Both of these units, temporary units, have 240 seconds to live. Now, the Seeker missile is completely impressive. It tracks whatever target you lock onto, and, well, it kills everything. Just look at that. Siege tank looks like nothing in comparison. Of course, this uses quite a significant chunk of energy, and so you're not going to be able to just run around and drop these all over the place. Next up is the Viking. The Viking is, I don't know if I'd say my favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorites for the Terran this time around. It's got pretty strong air-to-air, and it can also transform. So you've got this kind of walker thing, and you switch back and forth between land and ground. The ground version only attacks ground, the air version only attacks air, but pretty versatile, pretty fun. The Hellion, gotta love it. It's a flamethrower vulture, essentially. So, I mean, just look at that. It eats it up. It gets, I think, 13 bonus damage versus other light armored types, so
upgrades.
It's pretty significant. Pretty significant. The Thor, you have to love the Thor. The Thor sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's also one of your most powerful anti-air units is Terran. So it can't really chase air units because it is slow, but it can certainly destroy them. And it has this ability. So, yeah, I mean, Thor pretty much has the final say in who lives and who dies.